What is going on YouTube? It's a little bit of a shorter video today, a little bit different style, but today I'm going to be going over caffeine and if you should use this, how it will benefit you, and really how to best use it throughout your kind of lifting and fitness journey. And so to get right into things, yes, I do use caffeine, but one important thing to note here is I've had times where I didn't use caffeine, or I didn't think caffeine was healthy or the greatest thing to be putting in your body. And I had times where I went through tolerance breaks and I completely cut out caffeine, and I, went through that process, stayed off of it, went back on it. I've used it on and off for probably about the last 2 or 3 years. And this is all for sake of fitness and productivity gain. I don't use it just out of, pleasure, really. It's always got a purpose essentially tied to it, whether that be for work productivity and business or for fitness and training. So to get straight into it, there is a level to your dosing of caffeine. So this is the number one thing that you need to do, is just paying attention to what your intake is daily, tracking it just as you should track your total calorie or in macronutrient intake for the day. You should know kind of where your milligrams are at for caffeine for the day. And I'm just gonna start it off by this. This is kind of the maximum dosage that you should exceed, or not exceed, I should say, is going to be right around 400 milligrams. That is a very high dosing of caffeine to use, and that is something that I have a rule for myself to not exceed, and I don't think you should either. You hear these stories of people taking 800 milligrams, 1,000 milligrams of caffeine. Don't do it. It's not smart. It's not worth it, and there's no reason to take it to that extreme, because you can absolutely use it and get the benefit out of it between 100 and really 300 milligrams a day is kind of where I'll currently sit at myself while going through bodybuilding competition prep and running pretty much a business and working on a new side projects business type of thing as well. And so you should kind of gradually build up your dosage. There should never be one point where you are very, very high tolerance and you are, or I should say very low tolerance. So, you feel, say, 100 milligrams of caffeine, you feel that a lot. And then all of a sudden you go to 400 milligrams a day out of nowhere. That is going to shock your system, and that is going to have negative impact. Just like anything, you kind of want to work up through it. And I will mainly use this through the process for bodybuilding prep and cutting. So as I get deeper into a cut, my food gets lower, my cardio gets increased, I have higher workload, I need to be more productive during the day when I'm not sleeping and when I'm not exhausted and just tired at the end of the day. And so during the day, I'm using caffeine for training and work, and that kind of gets increased throughout the whole process. And then following the cuts, and when I'm bulking, you have a little bit more available food, then I'm taking a tolerance break and I'm not using as much caffeine. So right now, being approximately 5 weeks and 8 weeks out from my bodybuilding competitions this fall, I'm using right around moderate 300 milligrams a day total, and I don't really exceed that. Will it go maybe more towards 350 to 400 when things get really crazy and I'm 2 weeks, 1 week out? Yes, I need to up my intensity and be able to kind of handle that amount of workload through the day, which, let me preface this, caffeine is not at all necessary. It is simply a supplement and a performance enhancing, supplement to be added kind of to allow yourself to perform at a higher level. A lot of people use it. A lot of people don't use it. I personally use it. And so that is the choice up to you. Some effects you're going to notice: you're just going to be more productive. You're going to have more energy. It's going to suppress your appetite. So that's why I use it specifically while I'm cutting, and it is effective for that. However, it can be done without it. You can use 100 milligrams of caffeine. You can use no milligrams of caffeine. Either way, it is an option And so that's what I wanted to really kind of cover here with you guys this week, or today, really. I'm trying to get on YouTube here daily. And so today was a little bit shorter of a video, but just wanted to kind of break down my thoughts and opinions on caffeine, and then also just some general information about how it is used and implemented into fitness, business, because I do notice a benefit out of it, but I do tend to try to keep that in check and go through regular tolerance breaks. Like I said, after this whole season of competing and cutting down in weight loss and getting to an extreme low body fat percentage, I would be taking a tolerance break and coming off caffeine completely for a couple months until I do whatever next endeavor of fitness and workload. And my last tolerance break before this was pretty much through the entirety of like May and into June, where I basically was completely off caffeine, and then worked my way up as I started prep at the beginning of July to where we're now halfway through August. So that is the game plan for myself. You guys choose what to use. I'm not telling you by any means what to do. I'm not a doctor. And like I said, whatever you do, do not exceed that 350, 400 milligram mark per day, because after that it's just nonsense and you are unnecessarily hyping yourself up on the stimulant of caffeine. So hope this was valuable to you guys. I will see you in the next video.